Yesterday, PlayStation had their State of Play Japan, a showcase in Japanese with English subtitles dedicated to games that interest Japanese and Asian players from predominantly Japanese developers. And I wasn't sure, but I had a little inkling that maybe Digimon Story Time Stranger might be here, and well, I was right. And thanks to Bandai Namco for hanging out in chat. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another video. If it's not welcome back, please do hit subscribe. We would love to hit 100,000 subscribers this year. And if you're on mobile and you got the option to hype it, get more people to see it and help the video, I'd appreciate it. And thank you to my golden god, Bang Longmon tier patron, Lupus Lichlord. But yeah, I thought we might be waiting a little bit more for Digimon Story Time Stranger DLC news, but it feels good to be able to talk about news for this game again. Because during that State of Play Japan, we got the trailer for DLC Pack 1, Alternate Dimension. The version of the State of Play was actually a little different, with a Japanese voiceover over the top detailing what was going on, and a missing scene that is in the official trailer posted. I'm going to go over the official trailer first, and then go over some of the little differences with the State of Play Japan version. So we open on the Digimon Story Time Stranger logo and additional Digimon in episode Pack 1. Immediately the shot opens up on Omnimon Alter B. This is a variant of Omnimon based on, well, we'll get to that. Then we see Kreskarurumon launching its signature attack, Blitzgreymon launching its, another quick shot of Alter B, and then them seemingly firing attacks at Omnimon Zwart Defeat. Of course, Blitzgreymon and Kreskarurumon are very requested Digimon for Time Stranger. We then, in the official trailer, see Kodai Kuremi, who we really didn't see hide nor hair of in the second half of Time Stranger, shooting not just any gun, but an Adamus Digivice gun at Zwart Defeat. Then we get a full-on reference to Digimon Adventure 02 with the way that Jogress or DNA Digivolution worked in that season visually, with Blitzgreymon and Kreskarurumon flying at the camera in turn and flying out together to become, well, we'll talk about that in a sec too. The lines they say being,
"We must do what we can. Match your spirit!"
And then we get confirmation that the additional Digimon in episode Pack 1 will be called Alternate Dimension. So first of all, that indicates to us that yes, it takes place in an alternate dimension. But also it's a little bit of wordplay, because you might have noticed Alter S. Yes, the Digimon that Blitzgreymon and Kreskarurumon are becoming at the end of that trailer is very clearly Omnimon Alter S, the de facto Blitzgreymon and Kreskarurumon Omnimon variant. Though it is interesting, of course, that Alter B and Zwart Defeat are also in this trailer, as well as Kodai Kuremi with the Blicky Vice. Now this is a little bit different to the version at the State of Play, which opened on footage we saw in base game Time Stranger and is used in a lot of trailers. The Shinjuku Inferno, shots of Dan and Kanan and riding on Garurumon, Aegeomon ramping up for evolution, with the narrator saying that Digimon Story Time Stranger just released on PlayStation 5 last month. And the first DLC of the Season Pass, additional Digimon in episode Pack 1, Alternate Dimension, is finally here. This new chapter introduces 5 unique Digimon. Yes, 5 unique Digimon, not 5 Digimon evolution routes. No rookies, champions, etc. Just 5 Mega Digimon slotted into existing Digivolution routes, or new Digivolution routes created using existing Digimon in the game. So yes, it is only going to be 15, maybe 16 brand new Digimon to the game in this Season Pass. I know some people were saying, no, you're wrong, we're going to get a bunch of new Digimon. No, sorry. Along with a story centered around certain key characters. So yeah, I've talked about this a bunch already, but we did know from the start that there would be story episodes tied to each of these DLC waves, but this is good confirmation. And then more confirmation, of course, that the DLC launches in winter. So when is winter? Might seem like an obvious question, but it's not as obvious as you might think. Winter in the Northern Hemisphere begins on Sunday the 21st of December and ends on Friday the 20th of March. However, winter in Japan apparently is specifically Monday the 1st of December through to Saturday the 28th of February 2026. Either way, this lines up perfectly to information we already know, because if we look at the Steam page of Digimon Story Time Stranger, they state that the first 2 DLC waves will release between January and March of 2026. And if Alternate Dimension is promised to be in winter, I think that means we're seeing this in January. Small chance of December, actually. But given that Steam says January to March, I think we're looking at DLC Wave 1 in January. Then when they start teasing DLC Wave 2, they're going to say it's in spring, because whether you're in Japan or the Northern Hemisphere, spring does start at the end of March, when that second wave could drop. And then I think probably June, we're going to see the final wave, like it indicates on the Steam page, page, and that will say that it is coming out in the summer. A DLC for each season, with Time Stranger releasing, of course, in the fall or the autumn. But there's actually a lot more that we can glean from this trailer, which I know sounds ridiculous because it's so short, but we really can. First of all, we know exactly which 5 Digimon are going to be in this wave. Crescarurumon, Blitzgreymon, Omnimon Alter B, Omnimon Alter S, and Omnimon Zwart Defeat. Those are all in the trailer apart from Alter S, but Alter S is implied in the trailer and by the name the Alternate Dimension, Alter S. We also see them battling in even Kodai Karemi, specifically in this kind of Scala ad Kylum Castle Oblivion looking area, and Castle Oblivion is actually, I believe, a pretty apt comparison. Throughout the trailer, we see the perspective, the kind of 180-degree angle, focusing on Blitz and Cress on the left-hand side and Zwart Defeat on the right-hand side. This is the same framing that we see the protagonist team and the villainous teams in Time Stranger. Protagonists on the kind of left, villains, enemies, opponents on the right during battle. So Blitz, Cress, and Alter B are going to be our good guys, and Zwart Defeat is going to be our bad guy. I feel pretty confident in that. We also see behind them in this kind of like opulent museum what look like elevator doors, although maybe not. They're actually 2 big swinging doors. However, behind Zwart Defeat, I do think I see elevator doors. This is relevant because one of the only doors we can't go in Digimon Story Time Stranger at any point in the game are the elevator doors in the in-between theater. This to me makes a ton of sense to be the DLC area, and we'll go to each of the episodes through those doors. Perhaps the area we enter in each DLC changing depending on the story. This could potentially be a little bit limiting and disappointing if the entire DLC story episode takes place in this one room. But if you tell a good enough story, that might not be an issue. When I brought up Castle Oblivion before, I think that would be a good way to do this. In Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, you journey through the floors of Castle Oblivion, which all look basically exactly the same, opulent white walls, but you use the cards to journey to memory versions of the worlds from Kingdom Hearts. I think it'd be cool if they did a similar thing in Time Stranger where you ride the elevator. You arrive at the first floor and encounter Kodai or Zwart Defeat or whatever, then you run back into the elevator, go up a floor, and instead of being another floor of this white museum, it opens up into Central Town or Shinjuku for a small bit of story in those areas. Then you find the elevator door again, go back up in it, and then you enter out onto a floor of the museum in the in-between theater again. I say museum because that's what it most resembles to me, or an art gallery. There are pieces of art on the walls and statues and general ornaments. This does feel like something that a museum curator would have, maybe even adjacent to a theater. This does also basically 100% confirm that the video I did on the DLC based on data mines and an accidental voice actor leak is correct. If you don't want to know any further DLC information other than what has been officially revealed by Bandai, you can absolutely click off now. However, the rest of the video will have spoilers and speculation. So that means that the first wave, of course, is Blitzgreymon, Crescarurumon, Alter S, Alter B, Zwart Defeat. The second wave is going to be Omnimon Merciful Mode, Bancho Stingmon, Bancho Lilymon, Bancho Golemon, and Bancho Mamemon. And the final pack will be the X Antibody pack. Omnimon X, Magnamon X, Gallantmon X, Ulforce Vidramon X, and Jessmon X. But there are actually 16 slots free in the Digimon Field Guide between Gabumon Bond of Friendship and Agumon Black. And that is because, as I also talked about in that video, Parallelmon is likely to be our 16th. Because we know this story takes place in an alternate dimension, it's literally called Alternate Dimension, my suspicion is that Parallelmon is going to be the Digimon that unites these 3 waves of DLC. In Digimon V-Tamer, where it originated, that's what it did. It pulled people in from different dimensions and different realities to encounter each other. So our player character getting dragged into an alternate dimension where Kodai Karemi has a Digivice gun and potentially partners up with Blitzgreymon and Crescarurumon. I was going to make a video giving everyone from Time Stranger Digimon partners. I'm still going to, but thank God this came out before that. There's probably going to be some videos coming out actually on Sunday and Wednesday that might not talk about this information because they're already finished and for sponsors. So if those videos don't talk about the DLC, that's why. I think it's incredibly likely that Parallelmon is going to be the 16th Digimon we get for completing all 3 waves of the DLC, the kind of ultimate villain of these 3 waves. That does unfortunately put Ukomon in a weird spot. Now I can absolutely see Ukomon digivolving from Parallelmon, but if Ukomon was also put in the game, that would be 17, and there are not 17 slots free between Gabumon Bond of Friendship and Agumon Black. However, you could put Parallelmon at the end of the field guide, I've talked about this before, and have Ukomon fill that slot. However, I'm starting to suspect that Ukomon right now is cut content, but I just can't see it being a trophy, like one of the most hard to get supposedly trophies in the game, having Ukomon's image on it, if it didn't mean something. And again, we do know that Ukomon was cut from the game. I'm actually putting a video out next week which talks about all the other cut Digimon from this game that we know so far, but at least it's nice to know that we do have confirmation of this DLC wave. And honestly, Blitz Greymon, Kresgarurumon, and all the others look absolutely fantastic. Really excited to recruit them into my party. I'm kind of hoping that when they add new evolution routes, it's not just Blitz Greymon tacked on to the end of the Metal Greymon evolution line, but instead maybe they create a whole new evolution line or evolution branches. Hopefully each of them of course will be able to digivolve from multiple Digimon, you know, 3 or 4 Digimon Prevos for each Digimon, apart from the Omnimons, which will just sit on the end of an evolution DNA Digivolution, of course. But it would be fun if these actually unlocked new evolution paths. For example, right now, Agumon can't digivolve into Tyrannomon in the base game, but Agumon becoming a big red dinosaur would be kind of cool, maybe even then into War Growlmon and Blitz Greymon, an evolution path that I have talked about a lot in the past to spice things up for the game, and that would apply to the base game too if you have these DLCs. So if you did a new run of Time Stranger, you could have your Agumon become Tyrannomon and then War Growlmon and then Blitz Greymon and finally Omnimon Alter S, B, or even Toward Defeat. I'm super excited we can actually talk about this now. There's like official stuff on this and we can stop kind of doubting what's going on. Is it not? But there's still so much to learn. I'm so excited. Thank you to my Fang Longmon Golden God Lupus Lichlord, as well as my Sovereign, ZDK14, Jeremy Babineau, and Chaotic Prophets, as well as everyone else who supports me over on patreon.com/Karn EX and my YouTube channel members here on YouTube. I do appreciate you. Really wasn't expecting a Wednesday video this week, so I'm very excited. I'm going to the Digimon pop-up shop in London this weekend, so I might do a report from there too. And I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.